So I did not finish that painting on that video. Painting was not complete. This is going to be part 2 where you guys get to see me do this layout. I'm going to lay everything out, but I'm not going to put the detail on in this video either. You'll have to stay tuned to watch that. That one might be pretty short too, but this is just where I'm going to lay everything out. I kind of did lay everything out already in the first one, but I'm more or less just getting ready for the details, the in-between. Now that I have my layout, I'm going to define everything a little bit more, put the color on better, stuff like that. But point is, this one actually, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing time lapses with the paintings, because they just came out way too long. I'm not really quite sure how I'm going to record my paintings, which is kind of like whatever, because the whole reason I'm on here is because I want to paint. So I'm going to have to figure out how to record it for you guys. So if I'm AFK for a long time, know that it is because I'm trying to figure out how to best portray my art through camera for you guys and do it well. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to paint. So stay tuned. It's going to get exciting. We're going to do great. This one is one of my dad's plants. He does very good at growing plants and gardening and all that fun stuff. And I really wanted to paint this one because of the colors for it, for one, and the way that it's shaped. And granted, it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. Genuinely did not come out the way that I wanted it to. So for that reason, I might repaint it again later or something like that. But all in all, it came out good, and I'm at least happy enough with it to show people. So I don't really, whatever. If someone gets something out of it, that'd be cool. But I would rather it come out a little bit better, a little different. And another thing too is that I kind of want to experiment more with my palettes and stuff, but I try to think more, when I'm talking to you guys, I try to think more on what's happening in the world and what you guys are doing and stuff. And it's hard to kind of talk like that by yourself. It's easy to have conversations. Over time, I've lost a lot of brushes, a lot of canvases. I've lost a lot of art supplies over my life, and some I know where they are and I need to get them, and others I have no idea, no telling. I think because of the way that I feel with my art, I'll never have kids, because my paintings are my children. I have enough cousins and nieces and nephews around that I don't want any children. I don't want to raise kids right now, dude. Are you kidding me? I ain't kid out for a lot of things. I just want to paint. I don't know. When people tell me that, it is such a blessing, don't get me wrong. I recognize it as a blessing. However, because of the blessing and miracle gift, whatever you want to call it, that I have of art and doing it, I kind of, if I'm going to, cater to it, I kind of have to, not do the normal thing that people do with their lives and, hang out with friends or, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just built different because I do have this gift, and so maybe that's why I should just run away. Not, I don't know, not have a family, just have people that mean something and do what I want to do, because not everyone's just built for a normal life, and I sure am not even built for it. I don't know. I love what I do, and I want to try to keep doing that. When I was, okay, so I don't know, this is a little personal insight, I guess. There was a time in my life where I did jujitsu, and I was younger then, because I was in high school doing jujitsu and stuff, and that was such a weird time for me in the sense of I had so much put together in my brain that I lost after, you actually become an adult, I guess. And then you're like, oh wait, how did How did I get up at 6 in the morning? Like, what? How did that just happened, I guess. But I was going to the gym. I had, like, a set diet. I was, like, life was kind of, like, strange. Oddly perfect in a way, but it wasn't perfect. It was just kind of, like, perfect in the sense of, like, things, I just had things together that I don't know how to get back together. That somehow, or in some ways I don't really care to, but point is, what I'm getting at is, I ate right. I did everything. I had such a tight schedule. Everything was just spot on. I was on time all the time. You can, if you really want to know, I am never on time. I miss a lot of things. I oversleep. I'm not really cut out for that kind of thing. But there was a time in my life when I was. And it was kind of a big deal to me when other people couldn't do it. And I guess maybe that's why I've become the way that I have, so that, in God's eyes I can learn, that's just not how life is all the time. And sometimes you get a good like year or two where it's just like that, and you better embrace it and cherish it. But like sometimes it's just not. And so after I moved out and went to college and stuff, life was still pretty alright, and I in terms of having my brain together. And somewhere in there, I lost my entire brain. My brain ran off, and I still painted through a lot of that too. And I think that's where I kind of gained a lot of my skills and stuff in painting. And at the same time, I lost it again. I don't know, just a lot happened. But point is, I don't understand how to have the diet that I had and the brain that I had. It was just so, it was there. I gotta look for it every morning now. But I also, things change really quickly then too, so I can't worry about it too much. But I'm also rambling so much that this is not going anywhere in conversation, which makes sense because there is no conversation. It is just rambling, so thanks for listening. Sorry you can't respond. But yeah, it's just weird how things change and you forget how to do things, or you then remember how to do things. And then there are a lot of things that when I moved out and got this little place, this little cabin that I live in here, I kind of had to remember stuff that I forgot about life, cooking, cleaning, taking care of yourself, why it's important, because for a long time I was I allowed myself to be messy, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't judge people for that, who cares? But at the end of the day, the thing that matters about being messy is that it does kind of hinder your spirit. That's why I don't judge people, because it's not about me. If I see somebody failing in that part of their life for themselves, it just kind of makes me sad, because it just shows that maybe they don't care about themselves, or maybe they're not understanding what they're doing to themselves in their spirit. But their spirit knows, and it's just kind of I don't care, mess is mess, messy is whatever, people are people, we get nasty, we're humans, that kind of stuff happens. But at the end of the day, it does say something about how you feel and your spirit, and so if you are living in a mess, that's fine. That's totally okay. We've all been there. As you can see, my place is half messy, sometimes half clean. But only I know that because my spirit feels half messy or half clean. So that's another thing too. Clean is subjective, messy is subjective, but if you feel messy and you don't feel clean, then your spirit may not be happy. So, I don't know. I like to paint. Honestly, though, after a good painting like this, after a good session, I get up and I'm okay, let's go. Let's get it. Let's do something, because that's why I think art is really good for the spirit. I don't think that you need to feel like you have to paint, your painting has to come out perfect or right. You just have to appreciate what you have put out enough to say, okay, well, I did something. I did something. And if I feel bad about what I did, then I can do another something and make it better. And quit worrying about this one, But that's kind of why I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing, but I also kind of know that painting is what I want to do. And I just have to kind of force myself to do it. And in forcing myself to do it, I'm losing all touch for real life. I'm losing all touch for normal hanging out, normal life stuff, and I'm kind of okay with it, because if it takes me disappearing and becoming, getting out of society to do what I want to do with my like art and stuff, then I'm kind of okay with that. God will help me through it. In the right ways. I don't know what else to do except, okay, well, I just gotta stop and do what I need to do. And if you gotta stop and clean your room before doing something that you might want to do, maybe it's a good idea to stop and think, well, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I need to take care of myself and then let all the things that I need in my life come. God's will do that. But you have to take care of yourself first, and I think, everybody should try to do that. Everybody should try to take care of themselves first, and I haven't really, like, we all have, we all have times where we're like, yeah, I know it's important, and I know I can do it right now, but, I want to go have fun, so goodbye. Like, sometimes that happens, and sometimes things do come all of a sudden, and you can't control it, and you haven't taken care of yourself, but that's just called an oopsie hole, and we're gonna get out of it, and we're gonna take care of ourselves and get back to it, like, there's so many things in life that I don't understand how people go through it without knowing God or having a relationship with Him, because, I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I think I would still find some ways to do some art or painting because, like I said, I'm just so tied to it. But at the same time, having the right mindset about stuff is very difficult no matter what you're trying to do with your life. So, get up, clean your room if you want. If you're ready, I guess. But I do think it's a good idea. But it's like, don't clean your room because someone said it's a good idea. Clean your room because you understand what it's going to do for you. Because, sometimes I'm like, well, I do need to, do my dishes right now. But because I know that doing my dishes is really just something good for me to feel good about, or for me to have people over, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you don't necessarily need that, and you can wait. But sometimes it's really important right now for me to feel good. But another thing too is some people don't need to be clean to feel that way. But there are things in the sense of cleanliness that I'm speaking of that do fit. So it's my ways of being clean are not the same as other people's, but I know what makes me feel good and what makes me feel bad in my spirit. I guess that's all I'm really saying. I don't care how anybody lives. I don't care if y'all care how I live. But I do care that people are taking care of their own spirits and knowing what is actually going to be productive for you or what's going to keep you down. But if I didn't try to keep my spirit okay, nobody would hear from me. They practically don't already. And it's kind of you don't want to hide away for real, but you kind of do want to hide away because sometimes, we live in such a world where it's too much on people sometimes to, try to be there for all the people in their life and themselves. It's not possible, bro. It's just not. I'm just speaking, I'm just thinking out loud whatever the freak is on my mind. But, I'm not, there's, take my words with a grain of salt if, is what I'm saying, because I'm just talking out my head, and if there was someone out there to tell me, to have a response for me, I would really like to take y'all's responses. I would like to hear what is going on in y'all's mind, because I'm just rambling about craziness, but there is some sort of sense of, there's some sort of weird thing about the world that we live in, and how to control our social circles and how to not control it when, and blah blah blah, when is this and when is that, and how this and how that, and growing up being people. I just want to paint. But yeah, I think this turned out pretty nice. I said, I don't really care for it, honestly. I love the plant and I love the painting, how it came out and the idea and all, but I guess, I don't know, y'all will know when I put something out that I wanted to put out, or I just put something out that, turned out good, Oh, well. Also, my hair, just my head. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get to where my head doesn't pop in to where you see my freaking hair and you don't see the painting. But anyway, I think it turned out good. Like, it's not a bad painting. It's just kind of not how I wanted the plant to look, I guess. I don't know. But I like it. And if you guys like it, then that's cool. But hopefully here soon you guys will be able to notice, like, oh yeah, she meant to do that or whatever. But some of this stuff I did not really mean for it to come out this way, and but that's another cool thing about art, is that your work is not always going to come out how you want it. Now some will, and you'll feel so good about them because you'll be like, yes, that's it. It's exactly what was in my head, to an extent, or exactly what I wanted to put out, or how I wanted it to come out, or blah blah blah. But then, like, sometimes you're like, I'll continue this because I want it to be finished, but I'm not too satisfied with how this is looking, type thing. But it's not bad. Doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that, this one didn't come out right. You gotta try again if you want. If you want to get it right, or wait till you can get it right and paint something else in the meantime, which I'm probably going to do. I might do this one again someday, but do stay tuned for the details because it is a little sloppy, but it's not unfinished. I mean, but it's not finished, but it's not too sloppy. It's just like, okay, and things are not defined yet, but I think the colors are coming out cool. Honestly, the shadows on the pot were one of my favorite parts, but I don't know if I'm there yet. But, like, yeah, I do hope that these videos turn out to be something good, something right. Otherwise, I'm just going to stop and go back to painting whatever I want and I don't even know if I'm going to say that, but please leave a comment if you're enjoying this. Please let me know how I can make my videos a little better. I'll try to give credit where it's due. But yeah, a lot of people are going. I mean, I think there's a lot of things happening in the world. Life's changing for a number of people right now. I mean, it's just one of those times where, like, okay, season's changing. People might be moving. School might be starting. Summer's coming around. I'm late on my taxes. If you are procrastinating your taxes, I'm pretty sure it may not be too difficult to do it while you're watching my video. So if anyone out there needs that reminder, go do your taxes, bro. Go do them. And quit drinking coffee because you might be addicted like me. I am actually addicted to coffee, but that's something for another time. It beats me, you guys. Stay tuned, though, because I am going to come back to finish up the details on this plant. It's not going to be... hopefully it won't be 20 minutes or 18 or 19 minutes. I don't know, man. Hopefully it won't be that long for me to finish the details up. But I'm very glad that you watched this. I hope you go do some art. I hope you feel good about the art that you do. And I hope that I inspire some people. I hope, just get out there, do some art. God bless everybody out there. And...